want to run the engine for about 5 minutes to warm up the oil. Make sure you have the right oil and oil filter before you get started. I have a link in the description to this video for this exact kit. You can get it on Amazon for a little less than $25 shipped. In order to pop open the hood, you just need to pull up on it. It's super simple, and it just lifts up like that. Before you get started draining the oil, just come over here and loosen this oil fill cap. It's got the dipstick on there as well, and leave it there because that'll allow air to flow through there and the oil will drain a lot easier that way. Now this right here is your drain tube, and there's a little cap on here that we're going to loosen. But before we do that, I like to grab one of these things. This is a brand new one in its packaging, and it allows you to create your own funnel system. This is the cap we want to take off, but we want to shape this in such a way that the oil flows right into the oil pan here. So all you have to do is untwist this. Try to grab the cap as you feel it's no longer threaded in, and just let that loose. Once it comes to a slow drip like this, you're done draining the oil. Now once you've drained the oil, you just want to make sure that you're on level ground here, and if you're not, that you're leaning toward the side that's draining. Otherwise you're going to have some leftover oil at the bottom there that you want to drain out. And you can see nothing really substantial is coming out, just a couple drops. Next step is to take your oil drain plug, just wipe that off with a lint-free paper towel, and then you're going to want to put that back in. You'll want to snug that up. Next up, we're going to want to remove this oil filter here. This oil filter shouldn't be on too tight, so you should be able to actually loosen it with your hand instead of something like an oil filter wrench. But if you do need an oil filter wrench, I linked to this exact one that you need in order for it to fit over this size here. You'll see it's able to grab on, and this is the location where you would try to unscrew it. You have the most room right here. There's going to be oil coming out of there, so you're going to want to position this makeshift funnel so that it's underneath that filter, and it'll capture any oil that comes out of there, something like that. You can see there's a bunch of oil coming out of there, so we'll finish on undoing that. Bring it in a little closer here. You can see you really want to bring that makeshift funnel in here to get that to drain. For this next part, grab a lint-free paper towel and just clean the excess oil that's around the oil filter housing. This machine surface right here, this shiny one, that's really important because that is where your rubber seal from your oil filter is going to sit. So you want to make sure that's always clear. With your new oil filter, you grab a quart of the new oil, turn the quart of oil upside down because you're going to want to get a little bit of oil at the top here. And you want to take a clean finger, make sure you got a clean finger, and put that in the top of that cap, and then run that new oil around that seal. You want to get a nice light coating of oil completely around that seal. Once you have that, you can start screwing that oil filter back on. And you want to screw it until it meets the surface there, and then it's a whole half turn. So just pay attention to the lettering on the oil filter, and once it's made contact with that housing, you just want to turn it one whole half turn like that, and that's it. Now while you're in here, after you've screwed that on, just clean up any oil drops that you see, because when we turn this engine on for the first time, you want to make sure that this oil filter is sealed on there good and not dripping any oil. And the only way to tell that is if there's no oil already on that little frame rail there, or underneath too. With a clean funnel, we're going to start to put oil into the filler tube right there. Just put this off to the side. Grab your new 10W30 oil. Again, link in the description below. And this X350 actually takes 1.8 quarts. These oil containers have these nice hash marks on the side here. And since the X350 only takes 1.8 quarts, we're going to want to leave 6 fluid ounces inside this bottle. So you want to pour out just enough so you're in between this 4 and 8 hash mark. Okay, that's perfect. Right in between the 4 and the 8 hash marks, that's how much you want to leave. Take your oil cap and just lightly clean that off. Let's run it so that we get oil through the oil filter and get a proper readout here. For those of you at home wondering, these are the lint-free paper towels that I use. Scott, I just got them on Amazon. They're great. They last forever. Highly recommended. All right, so I'm going to fire the engine up, and the first thing you're going to see me do is check underneath this oil filter to make sure that's not leaking. That's really important here. You don't want to have any leaks coming out of the oil filter right away. So we're going to let this run for about 2 minutes, shut it off. Oil filter looks good, and we're going to wait about 5 minutes, and then we're going to check the level. All right, time to check the oil level through this dipstick right here. And you'll want to make sure that you are on the full line, but what you do is you actually clean this off first, put it all the way down, pull it back up, and see what that level is. And we are right at the full, if you could see that. So we are perfect. You want to be in between that lower hash mark and the top one, and we are right at the top one there. And that's it, YouTube. Thanks for watching. Be sure to thumbs up this video and subscribe. And if this video did help you out, feel free to use the Amazon links in the description. They go a long way to help out this channel, and it allows me to make more videos like this. Catch you in the next one.